This was a time to be alive. I feel like I like stepped in a time capsule. I knew this was gonna make me cry again. This is probably like the most fun I've ever had doing a video. I don't even care if this video gets 10 views. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Brittany and you should definitely subscribe. I'm really excited for today's video because I really wanted to kind of go and revisit some of my favorite books from my childhood, you know, the books that kind of shaped me as a person and made me who I am today, or just some of the books that I was just obsessed with because who knows why, you know? It was very hard to pick only a few. I think I ended up picking 6, I want to say, because they're obviously like shorter, the font is bigger, so I feel like I'm going to read through them a lot faster. But it was hard to pick because when I first thought of this video, so many were popping in my head that I was like, okay, maybe you should do a part 2 if people end up liking this, because I was like, you cannot read all of this in one video. So like there's some books that I really loved, like Divergent and The Maze Runner, that I really wanted to include. But I picked another book from that same era of my life, and I didn't want to do like all the books from the same era. I was trying to get books from like different years and parts of my life. I'd say the range is probably from when I was like 10 to 11 years old, and then maybe to like 16 or 17. I really don't remember. I don't remember when I read these books and stuff like that. I also have the Shadowhunter series that I really love, but I'm not including them in this video because I'm actually going to be doing a whole video eventually in itself on that entire universe, rereading it. I don't know when, definitely farther in the future, but I will be doing that at some point too. So those 3 books, just know they were definitely big contenders, but they did not make the cut for this specific video for those reasons. Anyways, let's go ahead and see what books I picked. Some of these, just looking at the covers, bring me back so much. The first one I don't have a physical copy of, and I'm really bummed because I'm gonna have to actually buy it on Kindle. I literally looked at my library, I looked at used bookstores and everything, and it's not on Kindle Unlimited, so I'm like, whatever, like, I'm gonna buy it for the sake of this video. But it is the Clique, and I have to read that one. That's a non-negotiable because that was one of my favorite book series growing up. I don't know why. I don't even like remember much about it, but I loved it. Definitely we're gonna be reading that one. Then we have TTFN from Lauren Miracle. This is actually the second book in the series. I had the first one and the third one. I don't know how many are in the series, but I know I had them, but I guess I got rid of them. And I kept this one. And I think I kept this one because, yeah, it's signed. So I had this one signed at the ripe age of probably like 11 or 12. I don't know when I read this. So I kept it. But this one I loved because the formatting is literally all just like over IMs, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever at the time. Look at my little, I even put my little name on it. I really wish I knew like when I read this. Oh, what is this? Oh my god, hold on, I just found no, because I just found this in here. What is this? And then one of my homework worksheets. Apparently those were my bookmarks. This video is already off to a great start. This is hilarious. Anyways, I know that this is the second book in the series, so hopefully, I mean, it can't be hard to pick up what's going on, even if I don't remember the first one. I mean, I know that this is just like a best friend group talking, and they're just like talking about their life. This next one I got from the library because I guess I don't own it anymore. I think I was just like so sick of seeing it because it became so mainstream that I was like, I'm tired of this blue, and I'm sure you guys can guess exactly what it is. The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. I'm so curious if I'm going to feel the same way because I remember when I was younger, I was distraught. I was crying, bawling. I felt sick. I'm very curious if I'm gonna read this and I'm gonna have a straight face the whole time or if I'm gonna cry again. I was torn between this one and Paper Towns, but I felt like for like the nostalgia of this video, like this one just had to be done. And going along with that, I also picked Looking for Alaska by John Green because again, I remember this one like moving me. For some reason, I was so like, I cried again. This one made me bawl again. I wanted to get a tattoo from this like book. When I turn 18, this is the tattoo I'm gonna get, like, you know what I mean? Obviously it didn't happen. I'm very curious how I'm gonna feel about this one because like I said, I remember again this one making me, why do I keep finding these random things in my, like, I really was just using everything as a bookmark. There's another one. I think I was warning myself maybe for like if I ever did read this again because I just found this one and so the page before says after like after everything happens, and I put teardrop. This is so funny. What am I doing? Well, I think I was like annotating without actually like writing in my book. I put, I wish I was Alaska Young. What did I mean by that? What is going on? Why did I wish I was her? Okay, but how is it so far? Was I like passing notes with somebody? I might have been passing notes with somebody. Good morning or night. What is going on? Oh, hi love bug, enjoy the book. I definitely was letting somebody borrow this. Or I think I was gonna let somebody borrow this and I was giving them like little notes. But I don't know if anybody ended up reading it or like if they left the notes in there. I don't... Then we have, of course, The Hunger Games. I have the newer version. I really want to collect the original paperbacks. For some reason, I got rid of them. I think the reason is I had such a small bookshelf. I didn't think I was ever going to reread these books. Like, I didn't collect how I do collect now, so I just kept ones that, like, I really, really loved. Well, but then again, I loved The Hunger Games, so I don't really know. I don't know why. I think maybe they were damaged or something. Like, I don't know why I got rid of those ones. But anyways, The Hunger Games made the cut. This is what I was talking about when I said this was in the same era as like Maze Runner, Divergent, Shadowhunters. Like I read all of that like in the same year. So I didn't want to pick all of my books to be from the same year because I didn't think it would be as fun. And then the last one is Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson. Again, I remember this one being one of my favorite books at the time. Like I was obsessed with this book and I genuinely don't remember anything about it except for the fact that like her friend went missing and she left like a bucket list for her. And she thought that if she completed that bucket list that like it would find her, and I don't remember anything else, but I remember loving this book so much. I kind of just want to start with this one because I feel like it's going to be really quick to read. I'm just going to read you the back. It says, after everything they've been through together, I don't remember what they've been through. Angela, Maddie, and Zoe know that they'll be friends until the end, but sometimes the fates or parents have other plans. With sophomore year and its troubles behind them, the winsome threesome is on cruise control. That's a crazy name. Enjoying the well-earned perks of being 16. But then Angela gets some seriously bad family news that threatens to change her life forever. On top of that, Maddie decides to let loose her wild side. Okay. And Zoe struggles to keep a big secret from Angela. Will junior year pull the girls apart just when they need each other most? Only their instant messages reveal the full story. Let's just start reading. Okay, but why is this actually making me miss like logging on AIM and like IMing my friends? Like Yahoo and AIM, I was on there every night, like IMing my little friends and playing the games and stuff. That was an era. I loved that. And like even like their lingo and like the emojis and stuff compared to now, like this is just like hitting all the nostalgia perfectly. This is so fun. It feels like I'm just reading, well, I guess I am literally reading teen girls drama. Like it's so fun. It's like you just logged into somebody's account and you're reading all of their messages and it's just like a bunch of drama and it's fun. I would pay so much money to find my old IMs or even my old text messages to see my conversations with my friends because I bet that they were just as like dumb and funny as these. Like I don't know, this is like low-key a vibe. I don't know, I feel like I like stepped in a time capsule with the way like everything they're talking about, their lingo, their abbreviations. I'm living for all of the OC references right now. So I am done with this. I finished this way faster than I thought I was. I mean, literally the entire formatting is IMs. I knew it was going to be a quick read anyways. I underestimated how fun this actually was going to be. Again, like low-key, this kind of slaps. Like, I think I'm going to give it literally 3 stars solely because of how like nostalgic it is. It just like immediately brought me back and it made me want to go back and reread all of my IMs and stuff with my friends because they were literally probably just like this. Like we just talked about the craziest stuff sometimes. I really wish I kept the other ones. I might honestly try to find them like at a thrift store at some point or something just because like now I want to read the rest of them. We're gonna move on to a more serious book. I think we're gonna do The Fault in Our Stars next. Honestly, one, I kind of want to just like get it out of the way because for some reason like I'm not as excited about this one. I think because I know that it's sad, and then also because I have to return it in, I have like 2 weeks, but still I'd rather just kind of get it done so that way I don't have to worry about it and I can just like bring it back or whatever. All I remember is okay. This was an era. Like this was everywhere, all over Tumblr. This was a time to be alive. Like Augustus and Hazel. Oh my god, why do I feel like this might hit? Okay, let's just go ahead and read a little bit of this. Well, we're gonna read the whole thing. I meant we're gonna read a little bit tonight. Have already read this much of this book. I'm on page 198. I forgot how many quotes from this book were like everywhere, like Tumblr, Pinterest. People were getting them tattooed. Like there are so many quotes from this book that are like iconic that I totally forgot about, and reading them is literally bringing me back so much. I guess I forgot that all of these quotes were from this one book. Like I know that all of his books had a bunch of like good quotes, but all of these I'm like, I forgot about these. Like I know I was reblogging or reposting, I forgot what it was called on Tumblr, but I'm sure it was on Twitter, Pinterest, like whatever social media was like popping back then, you were seeing these quotes. I knew this was gonna make me cry again. Okay, I'm done. I have finished The Fault in Our Stars. I'll be back. I have finished The Fault in Our Stars, clearly. I think I'm gonna rate it 4 stars. If you haven't read The Fault in Our Stars, I'm very shocked. I don't even know if I ever actually told you what it's about. I guess I just assumed like everybody's heard of it, but it follows Hazel and she has cancer, and it's just kind of like following her life, and she ends up meeting this boy who also has cancer, and they go to Amsterdam and they meet this author that she loves, and it's following them. We're gonna move on to maybe a more happier note. I think I'm gonna read The Clique. I'm gonna jump right into The Clique because I need something, I don't even want to say happy. It's not like really happy, but like it's entertaining, you know what I mean? I can't really describe the plot of The Clique. I just know it's mean girls in high school, pretty much. I know, so a girl moves in with this other girl, and this other girl has a group of friends, and they're, you know, the mean girls of the school or whatever, and so they're kind of like treating her like crap, but it's very cliquey. Haha. This is Mean Girls meets middle school in The Clique. Oh my god, why did I think that they were in high school? I guess I did read this probably in like 7th grade or something, but I don't know why I thought that they were in high school. The only thing harder than getting in is staying in. So we have Claire, the new girl from Florida, who's clearly not Clique material. Unfortunately for her, while they look for a new home, her family is staying in the guest house of the one and only Massey Block. She's the queen bee. It's just following Mean Girls, apparently in middle school, which again, I could have sworn they were in high school, so. I remember after this book, I needed like a little charm bracelet so bad, and like they had like this obsession with chapstick. Like they always used that instead of like lip gloss. So then I was always like putting on chapstick. Like, I don't know. I wanted to be them. I don't know what it is, like growing up, and I feel like a lot of other girls like were like this too. I don't know. But I always loved like the Mean Girls in the books and movies. Like Massey, Blair Waldorf, I loved. Regina George, I loved. Like, who else am I thinking of? it was like their confidence and stuff, like they knew that they were baddies, you know what I mean? And all of those like early 2000s like movies always had like that one girl, and I was like, I love them, I want to be them. I can just like read Massey's attitude, because in the movie she very over enunciated her words and stuff like that, so like I can hear her as I'm reading her dialogue. I just cannot believe they were in middle school. I always thought that they were in high school. I mean, when I read this, obviously I probably knew they were in middle school because I was reading it in middle school, but when I think about it now, I always thought that they were in high school because they were acting grown, I feel like. I was probably acting grown in middle school. Every middle schooler thinks that they're like 20, you know what I mean? Like, you think you're an adult when you're not. I feel like this is like a middle school Gossip Girl. Like, I feel like I think that was my pipeline. I think I went from Clique to Gossip Girl. Like, I think that was the pipeline for me. Like, now that I think about it, I probably finished these books and then saw Gossip Girl and was like, you know what I mean? Like, that's gotta be it. This is probably, like, the most fun I've ever had doing a video. I don't even care if this video gets 10 views because I'm having such a blast right now. Like, this is so healing. Oh my god, I remember being obsessed with Alicia in the movies. What was the actor's name? I want to say it was like Samantha. Oh, Samantha Boscarino. I don't know if I said that right. The outfit. The outfit. I thought she ate when I was younger. Oh my god, this. Iconic. This was my favorite outfit of hers. I think like this outfit will forever be in my head. Is it gonna load? It's kind of like pixelated, but I feel like you guys can get the gist. That was, I think about that outfit actually still to this day. I am done with the Clique. I don't even know if I can rate it because it is so like middle schooly. Like, it just, there's no way I can accurately rate it because like I would do like 3 or 4 stars for the nostalgia, but like it's really not like a 3 or 4 star. I don't know how I would rate it. It was definitely really nostalgic and just kind of feels like I again stepped in a time machine back to like middle school. I don't know how old I was when I read this. I might have even been in like 5th grade. Like, I really don't remember, but it's still iconic. Like I said, it feels like a middle school Gossip Girl. Maybe I'll just do like 2.5. I don't know. I guess I'll just say 2.5. Okay, I'll do 3 stars just for the nostalgia because I rated, I think, TTFN like 3 stars, didn't it? I don't remember. 3 stars. I don't know why I'm getting stressed out about the rating. I'm gonna do Looking for Alaska next by John Green. I'm not starting that tonight because it's 9 o'clock and I finished like 3 books today. I finished that one, The Fault in Our Stars, and another book for another video, so I'm kind of just like booked out for the night. So I'll check back in once I start the next book. Today I'm gonna be starting Looking for Alaska. It's been a couple days since I last updated you guys. I'm excited to start this one. I remember this being one of my favorites growing up, and I remember I used to want so bad the quote, "I go to seek a great perhaps," as a tattoo. I was like, that's gonna be my first tattoo when I'm old enough to get a tattoo. Yeah, I never got it, but you know, I'm excited. I feel like I don't remember it being this short. It's literally 200-ish pages, like 220 or something. We'll see if this makes me bawl the way it did when I was younger. I feel like I remember really loving Alaska Young, but I can't remember why. I completely forgot also that there was a show that came out for Looking for Alaska and I never heard anything about it. So I think after this I kind of want to go and watch the show. I feel like it came out kind of like as the hype for John Green started like dying down maybe, because I feel like The Fault in Our Stars and Paper Towns and everything were very highly talked about, but I don't think anybody ever talked about this one, and this was the one that I was the most excited for when I found out it was getting an adaptation. And then I never saw anything about it. Like, I didn't even know it came out, but apparently there's a whole season. Oh, I think it was it on Apple TV? Is that why? I bet you that's why, because right now it's showing Apple TV and YouTube. What the heck? How am I gonna watch it? I don't have Apple TV. Who has Apple TV? Well, that's disappointing. It's on Apple TV, so that's probably why I've never heard of it. It was probably like an Apple TV exclusive, and I feel like everything on Apple TV, like, nobody like talks about. Like, they have a couple hidden gems, but like not a lot of people have Apple TV, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I have all the other streaming platforms, but maybe I'll just do like the free trial, because now I feel like I have to see it, because this was one of my childhood favorites. All of these were, hence why I'm doing this video. But I never heard anything about the show, and now I feel like I have to do my like due diligence and watch it, because I was so excited for this. I remember like texting my friend every day being like, oh my god, they're gonna be doing a show, like I'm so excited, and like we would talk about it often, and then now that's it. They need to put it on something else. It would have done numbers on Netflix or like Hulu. Why Apple TV? I am having a good time. I'm enjoying this the second time around. It's been so long since I've read this, so I forgot about like all of this. Like, I just kind of remember like the key points, but I forgot about all of this other stuff, and I'm enjoying this. Like, even if I read this for the first time now, I think I would still enjoy this like for the first time. Like, even if it wasn't the fact of like the nostalgia, because all of these books, I feel like I'm having such a good time with them because I'm getting brought back to that point in my life and everything. But I feel like all of these books, if I read them now, I would still love them just as much. Maybe not the Clique. Well, no, I did still enjoy it, but that one was just a little more, okay, these bitches are kind of annoying, you know what I mean? Whereas when I was younger, I was like, oh my god, like, they're so cool, you know? So maybe that one would have been like not as enjoyable, but I think I still would have enjoyed it. Just not as much as like the rest of them, you know? It's still sad. Years later, I promise. I'm done with looking for Alaska. I forgot how much the end like gave me chills with his answer to his final exam, talking about like death and everything, and he says it's very beautiful over there. I don't know where there is, but I believe it's somewhere and I hope it's beautiful. Like, I don't know, this whole like paragraph in general I thought was so good, and I think that's why like John Green got really popular and his books were very popular in that time, and like when we were all 14, 15, 16, like around that time, because his writing deals with like a bunch of like realistic things and like real human emotions and stuff, but it's done in a way where you at that age can process it. And I feel like it's like a good way to expose yourself to these emotions as well, but like with people you don't know. Like, I don't know if that makes sense, because I feel like all of his books, like, I don't think they all are like tragic, but I do know they all have very like real human raw emotions and stuff like that, and I definitely want to like go back and reread all of his other ones. I remember really liking Paper Towns, so I would love to read that next at some point. Not in this video because I already have my books picked out for this video, but yeah, I think this is actually gonna be like a 4.5 star. It's really good. I just feel like he's got a really good way of like writing emotions, but also like a lot of his books have like this like philosophical like moment where you're kind of like, damn, like that's written really, like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but like I feel like I'm like that kind of like hit, you know? So it like really gets you thinking sometimes. That was so good. I'm honestly loving this video. I'm having such a good time with this video, and I'm really glad that I'm doing this. We have 2 more books to go, and that is Hunger Games and Since You've Been Gone. We are going to do Since You've Been Gone next and then save this for last. I just realized I don't know if I've been telling you what like any of these books are about. Really quick, Looking for Alaska, if you haven't already like looked it up, because I suck at telling you. It's about this kid. He ends up leaving Florida to go to this boarding school by choice, just because he wants to kind of like move on to the next adventure. He calls it like I go to seek the great perhaps, which is the quote that I love. He just, you know, he's not like happy in Florida. He doesn't like have friends and stuff. He moves here to this boarding school. He finds a group of friends and he just adventures. He does things. Something happens. Something tragic happens. And the second half of the story kind of is almost like a mystery. Like they're trying to solve something, like how something happened, but at the same time kind of like get through every day and everything like that. So that was a terrible job at explaining it, but I don't really want to like spoil anything more than I probably already might have. If you like didn't go through a John Green phase and you're looking for like something that's quick and easy and mostly enjoyable to read, but like has emotions and stuff, I recommend his books, especially if you're wanting like a good cry. They're very easy to like digest. Moving on, Since You've Been Gone. This was one of my favorite books. I don't know why. I've said that about all of these. Again, that is the whole purpose of this video. But for some reason, I remember really loving this one. It's about this girl and her friend just like disappears one day. Sloane, I think is her name. Yeah, and she leaves her friend like a to-do list, a bucket list type thing, which is back here, of things for her to do, and she believes that if she does all of these, it'll lead her to her best friend. And you're kind of just following her, like stepping out of her comfort zone and trying these new things and just like evolving, I guess, as a person. I can't remember like why I love this so much. I don't know if it was the whole bucket list thing or what, but I remember really liking this one. This is the one I remember I feel like the least about, which is hilarious because it is one of my favorites. I feel like it might feel like I'm kind of reading this for the first time. Let's go ahead and find out. I'm about halfway done with this book and I forgot how enjoyable this book actually was. I can see why I really liked it. I feel like the perfect summer book. Like it's this girl just stepping out of her comfort zone, doing these things that her friend left her, and I don't know, it's just very like summery. I can't explain it. One thing I didn't remember is I feel like low-key like Sloane is kind of not a good friend so far, what we've seen as far as the flashbacks and stuff, like, but at the same time I remember like high school friendships and stuff. Like nobody kind of knew the right things to do in those times. Like you thought you were being a good friend when in reality you weren't, you know what I mean? Like I understand that. I don't know, there's some things that she's done where I'm kind of like, girl, I don't know, that's not really, you're not really a good friend. This makes me wish that somebody would like give me a list of little things like this that like you have to do, because I feel like it really does force you out of your comfort zone. And I'm like kind of half tempted to like make a little random list like this for myself. I don't know, but I feel like it's better when it's coming from like your best friend or somebody who knows you and knows what like you're kind of nervous to do, and then they do it for you. Plus I just feel like it's cuter and it's more sentimental. I am really enjoying this. I still can't remember what actually happened to Sloane. I'm assuming they moved, but I really can't remember. Because in my head right now, I'm like, even if you did move, girl, like why aren't you calling her or something like that? But I know there was like a reason, I'm pretty sure, for everything. It's just been so long. Like I said, this is like the one book that I really didn't remember much about, like what actually happened. I just remember like the overall plot of it. Again, I feel like every single book I've read almost in this video, like even now as like an adult, I would still pick these up for the first time and probably enjoy them. Alright friends, I am done with Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson. I probably am gonna rate this like 3 stars, I think, just because like it's really good, it's really enjoyable, but I feel like it's also lacking like a lot of depth. It kind of just feels like we're reading journal entries from her, which is totally fine. I love it. Like I feel like I didn't really know any of the characters like on a deeper level, and I would have liked that. But the main reason is because of the ending. Everything happens in the last 10 pages and it feels very rushed. Like I feel like we got no closure. I wish it was an epilogue or something, because what happens with her and Sloane? Like, are they still friends? Do they plan to go to college together? Like, does any of this end up happening? What happened with her and Dawn? We literally got no closure there. Are they friends? Like, what happened there? I don't like how that ended. Her and Collins, same thing, no closure there. And then obviously her and Frank, are they like, I don't know. I have a lot of questions. That's probably why I would rate it 3 star. I still enjoyed it. I still had a good time, and I still I'm gonna stand by the fact that this is one of my childhood favorites. Moving on, the last book that I do have in this video is obviously The Hunger Games. I don't know if I'm gonna start this tonight or tomorrow. If you see me tonight, awesome. If not, then I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow with this. It is the next day and I'm going to start The Hunger Games. I'm really excited. I remember loving this. If I sound congested or anything, I'm like randomly getting sick, so I'm so sorry. I do have my coffee. I also have soup next to me in case you see this steaming. I know coffee and soup is probably not the best combo, but I'm not like hungry, but I feel like I should like eat something, so I feel like because I'm sick, soup is always like the answer, you know? But look how cute this little cup is. So for some reason, if you don't know what Hunger Games is, you must have just woken up from like a 10-year coma or something. But this follows Katniss, and there are 12 districts, and then there's like the capital. I'm sure you see jokes all the time about like watching from district blah 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 and stuff like that, and each district has to send one girl and one boy into the games, and there's only one victor, and they literally like fight for their life. Like they kill each other until there's one survivor. Like her sister gets called, she volunteers as tribute for her sister, and then it turns into this insane trilogy, and now we have prequels, and it's just like a whole thing now. If you haven't read this still, I highly recommend it. I'm really excited to reread it and like be back in the like the world, you know? So I just finished the Hunger Games, and I truly forgot how enjoyable this was, and now I think I'm gonna actually reread the entire series, which I mean I wanted to do anyways before the new one came out. I'm definitely not gonna get it done before the new one comes out at this point, considering I think it comes out like in a week or something. I don't know the exact date, I just know it's this month. That's okay, because I wasn't gonna read it probably right away anyways, so I definitely am gonna reread the whole series. I forgot how good it was. I also want to watch the movies again, and I don't really have anything to like say about that one because it was just so enjoyable. It's such a good like dystopian, I don't know, I feel like everybody has heard of Hunger Games. Like if you haven't read it, you've probably seen the movie. If you haven't seen or read it, you at least probably know what it is. So I feel like there's not much I can really say about it, but it was just so good, and I forgot how good it was because I literally have not read it since, I don't know, when did this come out, or when did it get popular or whatever? Well, whenever it was like a thing. That's the last time I've read it. I've not read it since. And that is the last book from my childhood that I will be reading for this video. I definitely am thinking about doing this again at some point in the future. I truly think that this healed something inside of me that I didn't know needed healing. This just like brought me back so many memories into so many like points in my life and everything. Like I remember like reading these, and like I don't know, it really brought me back, and I truly highly recommend doing this. Just even pick one or two of your favorite books that you read years ago and reread it, because it seems like it's still just as enjoyable. Again, it could be the nostalgic factor for some of them. Like they're not objectively good, they're not 5 stars, they're not written well, they don't have depth, like, you know what I mean? Like they're not amazing, but like they're amazing because of the fact that I loved them when I was younger, and I'm getting to like experience that again, you know? So that is the end of this video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Let me know if you've read any of these books, like especially like TTFN or the Clique, or the ones that I feel like aren't talked about anymore. And I'm gonna keep this short and simple. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a giant thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.